You're on this tour across Canada. Your first stop is Vancouver, and you meet someone very special there. Can you tell me that story?
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to relate it to my new album as well. I met a very amazing, beautiful person that as soon as we met, we knew we were in love with each other, right? And I didn't know how to say anything in English back then. So I asked somebody, how would you say something like that, and he said, oh, it's easy. Just go up and say, hey, I like you. Do you like me? And she was kind enough not to, slap me in the face, but she talked back to me in Spanish. She said, me lo puedes decir en español. She said, you can say that to me in Spanish if you want. And I'm like, I felt so bad at that moment because I was like, I can say so many beautiful things in Spanish, I missed the opportunity to say it. So from that point, we kept in touch. I finished the tour. And the last week before we were done, she calls me and says, hey, I'm just graduating out of university and I got some time off. You want me to come to Cuba with you? And I say, let's go. Let's do this. Her name is Sarah, and I finally wrote a song for her with her name. I mean, all of my songs, she's been the center of my universe, my inspiration, because in so many different levels. It's not only about being pretty or cute or, it's about telling you what really matters in life, and she has been that person for me. And she's my business partner, my partner in crime, my right arm, all of that. And so every song pretty much that I written, is based on her. Sometimes I've been told that, hey, you are so happy, why all of your songs are so happy? And maybe it's because of that,
Yeah.
It sort of threw me for some time thinking that maybe it's true that I was living in a bubble of happiness and life was much more than that. But the truth is that you just have to be who you are, right? And that's me. That's the way I see music. I see music as the biggest gift we got from God, and why not do it in a different way? Why not passing along the message that life is beautiful and it's worth living, But in this song, I decided to have her name on there,
Yeah.
So
After 20 years, it was time.
after 20 years, yeah. I've been waiting for that. But it's beautiful. It's even more beautiful now that the album got a nomination,
Yes.
So.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So she was waiting for you at the airport in Cuba.
Wait a minute, how do you know this?
Wasn't she?
You guys in Banff here, you guys are like some secret department working here,
She says, I'm flying up there. She gets there. You guys arrive. She's waiting for you, right?
Yeah, when, because our flying schedule was kind of very far apart, and so she flew in the morning and waited for me like 12 hours at the airport in Havana, and we landed at around 11 p.m. or something.
Yeah, she must really like you.
And I was like, she's not gonna be there. Come on, Oh, she already went somewhere else to Varadero or something,
Yeah.
Come on. And then she was there, Oh my God.
Lucky for you. Because you got married and
I
then
was lucky.
moved to Canada. You got married and moved to Canada in 1999, yes?
Yeah, after spending some time in Cuba with
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
She loves Cuba, and I had to try really hard to convince her that I wanted to come to Canada.
Right.
She didn't want to leave Cuba.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you, was it difficult for you to leave Cuba?
You mean in, I don't know,
Well, just where you built your life and your family?
immigration?
No. I mean, I assume
Oh.
that part maybe was a nightmare, but...
Because a lot of people ask me that, how did you leave Cuba? I said, I just got on an airplane, and came here, right?
I meant like the culture, you grew up there, you had
Yeah.
that community of musicians and music, and it sounds like it was so important. Was that a difficult decision to make?
No, and I am quite proud to say that because I am a living proof, that love, conquers anything, If you fall in love with somebody and that person lives in Alaska or whatever, you're not gonna. Alaska is gonna turn beautiful to you, even in the darkest hour of Alaska, But that's my case, I got to Canada and without feeling it, without taking note of it, without counting the days or anything, I got used to it, and and felt really comfortable from the beginning. She made me comfortable here, for sure.
Yeah, and you've lived in Smithers, British Columbia for more or less the whole time.
Since
right?
2003, yeah. Oh, I have to say something about that, though. And that is that if I would have come from Cuba directly to Smithers, I don't think I would be in Canada now.
So it wouldn't have been.
To be honest,
So it wouldn't have been that beautiful.
because I think that would have been a real culture shock, right? And weather shock and everything,
Fair enough. She eased you in by
So
taking you to
I went
Vancouver
to
first.
I went to Victoria,
Victoria,
yeah,
okay.
for 4 years, and yeah. So, but every I don't know, every couple of months we would take a trip up to Smithers, and I would see, visit her family and all of that. So I was slowly getting used to it.
Yeah.
And now I got. Do I have time to tell you something about Smithers
If you want to talk about Smithers, yeah.
and the family? When I got up there, when we moved up there in 2003, the family said to me, "You know what? It's a Canadian tradition that we have up here to get in the hot tub, get out and roll on the snow, and then come back." I say, "Oh, sure, I do that." I'm trying to make myself look like I can do anything, right? I did it. They were all behind the window with cameras and everything. I got out, and then they told me, "No, sorry, we lied to you. We don't do that here. We just wanted to see how committed to Smithers you were, right?" And slowly it became a tradition for me. I love doing it, and now a couple of, yeah, my parents did when they saw, because they went up to Smithers. I brought them from Cuba to visit us a few years ago, and when they saw me doing that, they thought I was gonna die. Don't do that, And but now it's taken a notch higher. It's now it's not only rolling on the snow. Now it's laying on the snow and see how long you can be there. This is New Year's Eve, last December, right? I was able to be there for a minute and about 3 seconds. So I'm holding the title really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, too. So obviously moving to Canada changed your tolerance to cold. We know that.
Totally. Now going to the heat, to warm places is the real trouble for me. Yeah.
But how did it change your music?
Well, I always answer that question this way. I don't think he changed it. I think he made it, because I became Alex Cuba in Canada. I became a recording artist here, right? So by the time that I went to studio to create my first album, every song has already been written here, right? So I think I don't see a line between Canada and Cuba when it comes to my music. It's all together, So, but in other ways, of course, it helped me, and I think the thing that I paid the most attention to was to find a way to translate what I do beyond culture and language, for sure, because most of my music is in Spanish. I think I will continue to do that, because it's necessary, to be honest, and sing. For me, singing in English will be a step that I will carefully take. I have to write a song, for example, which I'm not able to write completely yet. I might have a few ideas that I write down in English, but I always ended up finding a co-writer to help me finish. But until that feels, natural to me, then I will make the step to sing in English. But yeah, it's what it is.
But you have been writing some lyrics in English. You said you collaborate with people, though.
I actually recorded about, I think, 2 songs in English so far, and yeah, they all have started with an idea that I have. Then we've developed it, and somehow I've seen myself in it. But people ask me sometimes, when are you going to do a whole album in English, for example?
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not sure.
Probably.
You better learn Spanish.
I'm wondering, when you did first come up with lyrics in English, do you remember that moment when lyrics did start coming to you in English after so many years of writing in Spanish?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, though. It was maybe about 4 years ago, when I started getting, and hear that in my mind. It felt pretty cool. I felt like, oh, I'm finally gonna be able to do this, but taking it slow. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Step by step. I mean, some of those collaborations that you were talking about are on your new album,
Yeah.
Healer. I'm wondering if maybe you can tell me about some of those. I know one was with Anya Marina when you were in Tulum, Mexico at a music retreat.
Oh my God.
Can you tell me the story behind that song, collaboration?
You're freaking me out now, just a little bit. Yes. Well, writing for this album and, starting to develop the concept, what I wanted to do, it became clear, very early that the songs had the potential to be bilingual, and to possibly, form duets with other voices and stuff like that. So we tried first with one, and it came out really nice. So I got excited and ended up doing five. But at the same time, I was writing, and then I went, as you mentioned, I went down to Tulum, Mexico, invited as part of a songwriters retreat, and it's such a beautiful place, that you can inspire, just like Banff, for sure. No, in terms of inspiration, I mean, and I wrote a lot of songs there, and one of them was with this incredible singer-songwriter from New York City. Her name is Anja Marina, and we clicked like this, right away, and wrote the song super fast. It was from the beginning, it was like half Spanish, half English, and we sort of loved the vibe. And then I phoned her one day. I said, "Would you be okay singing the song with me on the album?" And she said, "I'd love to," and we did it. But I'm proud of the Canadians that are also joining me on the album. David Miles, for example, who I have, a big appreciation for. He's an amazing singer-songwriter. I love his music. But also voices like Alejandra Rivera. I don't know if you guys, any of you have heard of this singer-songwriter from Montreal. Her name is Alejandra Rivera. She has a beautiful voice. And I'm proud to have her on my album. Couple more names: Cuba Ohms, Mr. Ron Sexsmith.
Yeah, but with Ron Sexsmith, that collaboration was kind of the opposite. I mean, you weren't at a music retreat in Tulum, Mexico. It was all
No.
on the internet. It was-
Yeah, and I had the song already in Spanish.
Yeah.
That song already existed in Spanish, but I knew that it could sound cool in the voice of somebody like Ron Sexsmith,
Yeah.
and in English. And I sent it to him, and within 24 hours he sent it back to me. He said, "Did you like this?" And I said, "I love this, man. Come on." He did an amazing job. Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, working so closely, with Anya Marina, and then working over the internet by correspondence, basically with Ron Sexsmith. What kind of experience is that? How is it different?
I think it's an experience of 2015. We have technology, and it helps me live in Smithers. The technology, of course, because I write music on Skype, on FaceTime, with people from all over the world. Spain, Venezuela, Colombia, Miami. I'm in Smithers looking at my snow, and they are in Miami, but it doesn't matter. We write the song.
Yeah, and they have white sand behind them, and it's
Yeah.
But is it less intimate, or does it really matter?
Well, with Ron, this is not the first time that I work. So we worked, and we sort of respect what we do. Each other, and but there is a strong friendship. So it was no pressure, easy. Whatever. I wasn't trying to, to make him work too hard or anything for that. He said, feel I could do it. But with Anja, because we just met there, song came, maybe in a more magical way, I will say, because when you meet somebody for the first time and then you realize that you have a chemistry and, and she has a beautiful voice too that inspired me right away. So.
Yeah, and you compared it to Banff. Does that mean there's a collaboration lurking somewhere here?
Yes, actually, today I wrote a song with Joanna over there. She's sitting over there. And I think it's going to be beautiful. And who knows, maybe before I leave, I get to write a few more.